Boom, baby, what is up, everybody? Jake Paul put out a video Monday saying that he offered to fight Conor McGregor in a boxing match for $50 million. He goes, this is the biggest fight you will ever be offered. He goes, I'm 2-0 as a professional boxer, and you're 0-1. But what does Conor McGregor have to really gain from fighting a YouTuber? I mean, this is something I don't understand, is why Jake Paul wants to fight a YouTuber. I mean, if he beat Conor McGregor, would he be considered a legitimate boxer and a legitimate threat? I mean, seriously, does Jake Paul really think he has a chance of fighting real fighters? I mean, he's saying he's offering $50 million. That's a lot of money to put up against Conor McGregor, which made $100 million versus Floyd Mayweather. But you got to realize Jake Paul has only fought tomato cans. He fought like a YouTube guy and beat him, and then he fought Nate Robinson, a professional basketball player. None of these guys are legitimate, actual fighters, okay? It's like I said, if it would be me versus Jake Paul, yeah, Jake Paul has more skill set because he's been training for 3 years, but Nate Robinson, he knocked him out because he was a professional basketball player, and he wasn't even the highest level basketball player out there. It'd be like him fighting LeBron James or something. Still, like Dana White said, you see what NBA players do when they scrap. They're not looking professional. They're just scrapping like a regular dude, like me or you. The same thing with baseball players or hockey players. They just look like regular dudes swinging for the fences. They don't have the skill set to get in there to fight the best of the best. So when somebody like Jake Paul is calling out Conor McGregor, which is a legitimate MMA fighter, and he has knocked out a lot of opponents. He's beat up a lot of dudes. Chad Mendes is one of them. He knocked out Jose Aldo. The list goes on and on who this dude has just annihilated and beat up on this stand-up. And it's not going to be an MMA fight, so it's not like Jake Paul could take him down and wrestle him. It's going to be a stand-up war. So I just think it's just a cash grab, or maybe it is. Like I said, this kid, Jake Paul, really thinks he has the chance to win a fight against Conor McGregor. He called out Dylan Dennis, which I think is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, which doesn't really show much striking. But at the end of the day, will this fight ever happen? I don't know, because Dana White even said Amanda Nunes would beat his ass, and Amanda Nunes would go in there and box him up. But even Dana White says, I don't put on freak fights. This is a freak fight. It's not a real fight that... Maybe it is a fight that the fans want to see. Maybe it is something that people want to see Jake Paul fighting against these true fighters. But right now, Jake Paul is 2-0 against tomato cans, and he fought nobody, and he thinks he's a big shit. And Nate Diaz comes out and go, Jake Paul, you need to shut your mouth because you're basically writing checks that your ass can't cash. And that's the truth. He's going to be getting beat up by real fighters. And once he gets beat up, he's going to get seriously hurt. It's like, yes, Jake Paul is an athlete. Yes, Logan Paul is an athlete. But you think even Logan Paul is going to have a chance against Floyd Mayweather? I don't think so. But at the end of the day, he's offering $50 million to fight Conor McGregor. Will Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul actually happen? I mean, if it does, it's going to be the weirdest fight ever, because it's going to be basically two non-professional boxers fighting. But I'll give all the skill set in the world to Conor McGregor for winning. Conor McGregor is a heavy-handed striker, but he doesn't have nothing to gain for fighting this YouTuber. But would it sell a lot of pay-per-views? Yeah, probably. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be a weird fight if it ever does happen. But $50 million? I mean, money does talk. But we'll see you guys back for another MMA breakdown coming very soon. Let me know what you guys think. Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor for $50 million? I don't know.